Yeah. Two. Yeah. Aye. I'm jacking the beat, you calling the cops. The yapping is cheap, I call you the ops. The rapping is heating, it's all cause of pop. You get a leak for the ball, get a drop. Feel like I'm wrong when I double it back, cause I'm making it harder to catch that. But I covered the ticket, I call you to visit. You tipping and hit up the cash app. Baby girl, been round for it, yeah. In the old days, I was stuck in old ways. Never really trying to flip the old page. Young man tripping at an old age. Thinking I was flicking, had a low wage. Led the bro days, then a slow praise. Thinking it'd be different, it would gon' change. Then it really didn't, it's a cold game, yeah. Ay, all I really wanted was the money in the pocket. God over money, but the money ain't a topic. Like Bill Doe and the money gotta stop it. Kid need food and the whip need juice. I'ma get these views when
How can we stop all these murders, crimes? I'm gonna tell y'all how we do it. New Orleans is the murder capital of the world right now.
Police are looking for leads. Extremely violent crime wave.
The teenage boy is now dead.
Shot and killed overnight.
Dubbed the murder capital of the country.
St. Louis, Chicago, right? So say for instance, all those places have 400 murders. The way we stop it is with insurance. If we teach these people how to go get $1 million policy at $50 a month, we are creating, if it's 400 murders in each one of them cities, that's $1 billion per two. Think about it, new millionaires that we created. We have to go to Wall Street. It's not about the police, it's not about the government no more. This is a money problem. Now we're gonna fix the communities. We're gonna save our kids, but now because we create more millionaires off of insurance policies that we're putting up. And so that's the mindset that we have to change.
work hard, play hard, homeboy, everybody ain't calling out. Got a mouthpiece from the southeast, if you want scrap, stall him out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I feel good, man, I'm balling out. I'm a rich man with a rich fam, Christ bars got me out of mama house. And I bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Big God, big grace. Big God, big grace. Big God, big grace. Big God, big grace. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Big God, big grace.
What it do, y'all? It's your partner looking old, so fresh, cold, clean. You see that thing, guys, and take that picture for your mama and them, and welcome again to another Countermove podcast, guys, where we look at life from a wise perspective, lean in and reason together, guys, and begin to prescribe the right solutions, guys. And we having a little bit of trouble on Instagram, guys, but I think we got it back up. So we're back in this thing, guys. Guys, today it's going to be a very special one. The reason why is because a good friend of mine, Matt Zapala, actually interviewed a mogul. To me, this guy is probably one of the most brilliant businessmen I believe in, really in my lifetime. How he's came from something to nothing. Before I go there, guys, if you're looking for a debate, guys, do me a favor, guys, and go ahead and click that X real quickly. You guys can bounce out of here, man. But let's dive into this real quickly. Again, I'm getting everything set up, guys. We had a little technical difficulty. No problem. Your boy got you. So now, let's dive into this real fast. Master P, guys, is a business mogul that has come from nothing and came to something. To hear his story, where he came from, how he did it, that right there to me has been something cool to watch. Seeing how he built No Limits Records, and everybody knows the thing. Make him say, "Bought it." You know what I'm talking about? he was a very instrumental guy with me coming up. And guys, he made a very good content, good thing. He said he was talking about crime in the hood because he's from the hood, from New Orleans. And guys, he said this. He had this quote. He said, "Life insurance can save the hood." And I said, "What? Wait a minute, huh?" And so I said, "I got to listen to this." And so, a good friend of mine, Matt Zapala, interviewed him at one of his conferences, and he really dove into the context of what he was talking about. And I said, "Man, I got to hear what he's saying." And then as he breaks it down, guys, we'll unpack it together, guys, and see how it can actually apply to you and to your family and to your kids. All right. We at the Countermove podcast, we take difficult situations, lean in and reason together, and prescribe the right solution. All right, guys. So if you could, guys, share this live wherever you go. I guarantee you, it could change your whole life. I always tell everybody, you are one decision away from changing your entire life. This information by a multi-millionaire, damn near a billionaire. He's a Titan, Master P, Percy Miller, can change your life. So guys, let's dive into this real fast and unpack this comment by Master P, how life insurance can save the hood. Let's dive into this real quickly, guys, and see what he's talking about. Let's get into this thing. All right. Boom.
Yeah.
We're here to do the impossible, and we need your help because you've been doing the impossible your entire life.
I mean, it's a blessing. It's a blessing from God up above, and without him, I wouldn't be here. So I just want to let everybody know that's the most important thing.
I wasn't going to start off like that, but since you brought God up, a lot of I wrote a book called Faith Made Millionaire, and about how many believers here? Amen. Okay. Amen. Sometimes in the Christianese world, there's a lot of people talking about it's uncomfortable for you to make a lot of money. I was having cigars a couple nights ago. A young man from Puerto Rico says, I feel guilty making money. I'm a believer, but I feel guilty making money. What would you say to that as a believer?
Listen to his comments, guys.
Well, God wants us to be successful. It's not what you have, it's what you do with what you have. And so for me, everybody look at all the great things that I've done, but I'm not self-made, I'm God-made. And so I think
So from the get-go, he understands where his source comes from. Okay? Man, listen to the transformation in the mentality from a cat from the hood to where he is now, man. Listen to all this experience, the seasoning here.
nobody's put on this earth to have nothing. It's what you do with your 24 hours, and when you put your trust and faith in God, anything is possible.
I was watching it.
Another thing, guys, everybody has the same amount of time currency, 24 hours. What he's saying is, what are you going to do with your time currency of 24 hours? That's going to separate the good from the great and the average from the good. All right? So what are you going to do with it? Let's keep going.
Watching a interview you were doing with T.I., and they're talking about the way you help a impoverished community is by not being one of them.
Yeah.
So you came out the ghetto, you came out the projects. So what was your switch? Because you could have been swallowed up by your environment. What caused you?
Listen.
What caused Percy Miller to convert into becoming Master P?
Just not settling to say that I'm in private situation, but my mindset is different.
Yeah.
I want more out of life. This is not it for me. I don't realize or believe that this is my destination. This is a part of the journey, but I can make it better if I put my trust and faith in God. And I just kept putting my trust and faith in God and said, one day I'm gonna make it up out of this bad place. And it's also the power of words, y'all. When you speak negativity, it constantly come back at you. And so even when I was living in the projects, I was always saying, I'm living in a mansion. I never said that I'm happy being in a project or I'm gonna die here in a project. I'm like, no, this is where I'm at, but I'm about to grow, I'm about to get better, I'm about to work hard, I'm about to make it out of here. And so that was the motivation. My mindset was that I can break these negative cycles and I could change this for me and my family.
So, guys, he's saying life and death is in the power of the tongue. If you spend more time talking about negative things, don't be surprised if all you notice is negativity, and then you'll begin to see how your life is always, you become more of a critic. You critique every single thing. You have nothing positive to say. It's because life and death is in the power of your tongue. It's real simple. This cat is saying that he was around all of this trauma, but he kept edifying himself. As the old folks say, speak over yourself, edifying yourself. Sometimes, guys, you got to edify yourself. And this cat said, sometimes all I had was myself. So, man, listen to the seasoning, the wisdom.
Who were your early influences? I mean, what made you start seeing? What gave you a vision of a better life for you?
Well, my grandfather was a hard worker. My grandmother was a hard worker. And so having people like that in my family, so I lived with my grandparents, and we had 16 people in a 3-bedroom project apartment. And so we grew up tough, but the morals and values that my grandparents had, it pushed me. And so it kept pushing me, because my grandparents never settled. They never felt like they got the bad end of the stick. They had the nicest looking project. They had a garden in the backyard. And so they was living the American dream, even though we was living in poverty. They was always thinking like, this is gonna get better, I gotta have a good family. So we was like good times. That's the way we lived. So we didn't live with our head down or crying. My grandfather always was a hard-working man going to work. My grandmother was a hard-working woman. And I grew up on WIC. I grew up eating cereal from WIC. And so I was just saying to myself the other day, like, I'm a kid that grew up on WIC, and now I own my own cereal company,
Wow.
Snoop. So
Wow.
it's a blessing.
Wow.
I'm going to get to Snoop here in a second.
Man, pause right there. Wow. Come back to you. Man. My mans in them said, man, this dude said that he grew up on WIC, right? And was eating cereal, and now he and Snoop actually own their own cereal now. Do you see the power of speaking over yourself and how life and death is in the power of the tongue? You hearing a mogul talk about this type of power, this type of authority, man, this off the chain, man. P, man, keep ministering to us. Here we go.
Did your grandmother, your grandparents, your grandfather lead you to church? Was it like church on Sundays, or was that your routine?
I got my butt whooped, but I didn't go to church. My grandmother was serious about church. We need to make sure you get a foundation. She always told me that. She was like, stop blaming problems on other people.
Woo.
And you got to be the best person you could be.
Yeah.
You got to be a good student. It's all about education, because most people pray for money. My grandparents taught me to pray for wisdom. And so that was the difference.
I told y'all, man.
That was King Solomon. King Solomon was praying for wisdom.
King Solomon, one of the richest men to ever, probably till the day, because he didn't want money, he wanted wisdom, knowledge, information, and he was able to get everything else with the knowledge and information. And so, I mean, you got to have the faith. You got to put your trust and faith in God, but also you got to put the work in, because they say faith without work is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a ball player growing up too. So you went to college playing ball for a minute.
I went to college playing basketball. I graduated in 30 days.
Listen, guys.
Y'all think that's funny, right?
No, man. Go ahead,
I
bro.
think it's hilarious. I had a 2.2 GPA in high school, so yeah, for sure.
I was a great student, and the professor told me I majored in business and communication and marketing. So I get into school. The first 30 days I learned about colors and marketing and all this stuff. I told the professor that I'm really gonna make it. He said, well, how much money are you trying to make? I said, I'm trying to make a lot of money. He said, well, when you graduate, you're gonna make $250,000. And I say, Not me. I said, I'm gonna make $1 million.
Come on.
And the professor said, how you gonna do that?
Come on.
I said, you gonna teach me? He said, okay, what is McDonald's selling? This was my 30th day at school.
Wow.
I said, Big Macs. He said, wrong. Another kid in the class said French fries. Somebody said hamburgers. He said, all y'all wrong. I said, what he selling? He said, he's selling consistency.
Ooh. Ooh. Let that man in right there. Consistency. The one thing we can say about McDonald's, they are consistent. Man, they are. That's good. Let's keep it going.
When I figured that out, everything that I did from that day on was based on consistency. No matter what you do, consistency is the key to success. So when you look at it, them hamburgers, those Big Macs, has been the same everywhere. That's why they make billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah.
The consistency. And when I figured that out, I graduated. I was ready to go. I started my own business. Yeah. I started my own business. I was ready after. I was a real entrepreneur.
Wow. So power of a good teacher, power of a good professor, planted a seed in you. Okay. Let's talk about grandparents, grandfathers. So a lot of people don't realize, because it shocked me, like people don't know your startup capital.
Listen to this.
You have an insurance story.
Uh-oh.
So your grandfather had insurance settlement.
Yeah.
So and you was a beneficiary.
I'm gonna tell you guys. So I know people look at me now that I'm successful in the way I live, but I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up in poverty. Probably one of the worst places for a person to live in New Orleans. At the time, was the murder capital of the world. But one person that never got robbed, nobody never did nothing to, was the insurance man.
Uh-oh.
The insurance man come through the neighborhood,
Okay.
collect the money,
Yeah.
and leave. I used to get into fights because I tell people I wanted to be like the insurance man, because we used to play this game called That's My Car, right? All the other guys go, the Cutlass with the nice wheels and all these different cars, right? The Chevys.
Listen to thinking.
I said, man, they say, that's my car, that's my car. I look at the insurance man car, it was a Mercedes with no wheels on it, but it was $100,000. I said, that's my car. Guy said, oh man, that car ain't that good. Like, why you want that car? I said, man, that car $100,000. The car you talking about is $10,000. The wheels is $15,000, and the paint job is $5,000. So think about it, y'all. That insurance man come through the hood every time, pick up the money, leave.
Yep.
That's what I wanted to be like. And then my grandparents were smart, because you have a lot of smart people in the ghetto that was like, my grandparents was real wise when it came down to insurance. They always used to tell me that put your money into insurance rather than put it into a bank.
Uh-oh.
And
So even back in the day, he was getting this type of counsel. Oh, man, let's keep going.
they've been thinking that way years ago.
Yeah.
And so they was like, well, the bank gonna take your money and then go get 15% on insurance buying.
Woo.
Why don't you do it?
Come on.
So that's the name of the game, and I started thinking. And then when my grandfather passed, my grandmother put the money that she got from his debt back into one of those fast cash insurance things, and then she was able to give everybody in the family $10,000. So she gave me $10,000, and I took it in at 19. I opened up my record store, was No Limit Records.
Wow.
See, y'all giving birth to the next Master P of your generation. It's our agents here are insurance licensed, and they come from the multicultural generation, many from middle class, many low into the ghettos too as well. And so the insurance makes it back then. There was no EFT bank draft. It was an insurance man collecting cash, put in a wallet.
And nobody touched it in the worst neighborhoods ever. Because they know the insurance man was going to be the ones to help bury your kids. And so think about this, y'all.
Listen.
How can we stop all these murders, crimes?
Okay.
I'm going to tell y'all how we do it.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, New Orleans is the murder capital of the world right now. St. Louis, Chicago, right? So say, for instance, all those places have 400 murders.
Yeah.
The way we stop it is with insurance.
Ooh, come on.
Because if we teach these people how to go get $1 million policy at $50 a month, which we probably spending more than that, right? We do that at $50 a month.
Ooh.
Come on.
We are creating, if it's 400 murders in each one of them cities,
Wow.
that's $1 billion per two. Think about it. New millionaires that we created. So now we have to go to Wall Street. It's not about the police.
It's about
not
the-
about the government no more. This is a money problem.
Money.
Now we're going to fix the communities. We're going to save our kids, but now because we create more millionaires off of insurance policies that we're putting up. And so that's the mindset that we have to change. So people ask me, well, Pete, what we going to do about this because the police killing us, we killing ourselves? I say, we need to get some insurance.
Come on.
And so if we get enough policies, $1 million policies, we create all these millionaires and we get rid of crime because now it's a money problem.
Wow.
And they're going to fix the money problem. If we make $1.2 billion in just 3 states,
wow.
Man, imagine how much money that would be out there in the millionaires that we will create off of these policies.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, guys, make some noise for that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Come back to your partner, man. Right there. Woo. Let's dive into this, y'all. Man, right there, bruh. We got to dive into that. My mans in them said that how you begin to save, right? How you begin to save these communities is by in the hood. How do you begin to turn the hood around? Is through life insurance. And he broke down the numbers. Now, let's go through these numbers real fast. All right, through these numbers. Let me bring up my calculator real fast, y'all. Y'all know. Give a player a second, man. And let's walk through these numbers, right? I'm a numbers man. Y'all know your partner. I'm a numbers man. My man said this. Let me get rid of that real fast. My man said this here. Hold on. I want y'all to see these numbers. I want y'all to see it. Y'all see it? Okay, y'all cool. My man P said this here. He said that the way you begin to solve and crime and turn around the hood is through life insurance. So I'm gonna use his numbers. My man said paying $50 a month, he's actually right, depending on the policy, can pay out $1 million in death benefit. All right. He talked about Chicago, St. Louis, I think he's at Baltimore, and some other places, New Orleans. He had 4 different towns, and he used the number of 400 murders. So let's say 400 murders. All right, 400 murders, right? And say those murders, guys, it's 400 in each city. So those murders are paying out $1 million. Right? 1 million. That's too many zeros. My bad, y'all. 400. My bad, y'all. Times 1 million. That's 1,000, 100,000. 1 million, right? 1 million. Guys, that's $400 million. Times those 4 cities. Times 4, guys. Look at that. That's $1.6 billion. That is being infused into the next generation. That is a lot of money. A lot of money. So you're making 400 millionaires in each city. 400. All right? I don't know the numbers. I don't know the numbers for each city. Let's just say there's 400 murders. Let's say a quarter. 400 a quarter. Yeah, 4 quarters. 400 guys times 4. That's 1,600. 1,600 guys times $1 million. 1 million. Here we go, y'all. Again, that's $1.6 billion. And that's for one city, for 1 year. That right there times 4. 4. Yeah, that's $6.4 billion. You talk about set up the next generation of wealth. Guys, now why would P say that? Why would Master P say that? Come back to me real fast, y'all. Why would he say that this amount of money would solve the problem? This is why he said that. All right, guys? Here's the reason why. Boom, go back to my reaction real quickly. Here's the reason why. And he said it's a money problem, guys. is, let me unpack it this way. Almost every arena that you see is financed by what? A life insurance company. You have buildings down in downtown. Who they financed by? Life insurance companies. You have life insurance companies managing these endowment accounts as well. Also, you best believe that money is flowing through endowment accounts for these universities. All right. So life insurance is everywhere. When it comes to you putting your money in a bank, what is it? It's secured by the FDIC. That's an insurance company. When you actually go buy a car, you get what? Insurance on your car. When you go buy a house, you get what? Insurance on your house. When you buy a house at a title company, you actually acquire title insurance. Sometimes when you actually pay a mortgage payment, guys, you actually pay PMI, which is a form of insurance. Insurance is everywhere. You have insurance for your health. You have insurance for medical expenses. Let's stop the cap. This insurance is behind everything, and insurance just finds way how not to pay. So when they begin paying records amount of money out, unfortunately, in these high murder areas, unfortunately, guys, all of a sudden now, it's affecting someone's bottom lines because insurance companies do not like to pay stuff out. They try to find ways how not to pay. That's how they do it, guys. There's a reason why Master P was actually saying in the hood, the insurance company would come in, get his money and leave. No one would touch him. Why? Because the hood knew he was dropping money off. Guys, I'm trying to get y'all. I'm trying to told y'all, if you want to begin to solve these high crime areas, guys, I'm trying to told y'all, look at a life insurance scenario there, guys. Because then what happens is, guess who begins to feel the pain now at the bottom line? Wall Street. And when Wall Street begins to feel it, what happens? Lobbying laws begin to be changed. What happens now? Then all of a sudden now, more money is flowing to the good police departments as well. Also, policies begin to be changed. Why? Because you're affecting the bottom line. What is pushing politics? Money. What's pushing capitalism? Money. What pushes even a socialism and a communism? Money. How do you begin to really invoke change, guys? You affect the bottom lines. Like, for instance, I'm a huge Cowboy fan. Man, I love me some Cowboys, y'all. Down America's team. Down. People used to get mad at Jerry Jones all the time when the Cowboys were losing all the time, not going to the playoffs all the time. There was a rough patch for us for a little bit. I would always say, do you know how you can get Jerry Jones' attention? Very simple. Stop going to the games. Stop paying for the tickets. Stop buying the merchandise. All of a sudden now, Jerry Jones begins changing this whole tune. The same thing for in the NBA team, in the NFL team, MLS team, you name it, college, you name it. How do you begin to flex a little bit as the consumer? Well, you begin to take control of your consumer dollars and become disciplined. That's how you turn around the hoods, man. That's how you begin to create, generational wealth in that context, guys. Because what'll happen is insurance companies will begin to pay more money, right? Which then begins to be a little bit higher. And then when you have Wall Street feels it, then the political scene feels it, and everybody on down the trickle line begins to feel it. Why? Because of the fact that insurance companies are paying. This, guys, is real simple. I love this perspective that he talked about. I love it because of the fact that it forces everyone to notice a problem. It's real simple, guys. Oh man, that's my reaction to guys. So, what's your kind of move, guys? Very simple, guys. First and foremost, Matt Sapala, my dude, Master P, man. Thanks so much, man, for the interview, brother. Phenomenal, man. Matt is a good friend of mine, man. I love him. I love it, man. It's phenomenal, brother. But man, when P said this here, life insurance can save the hood, and I unpacked that thing, I agree with him. I agree with him 1,000%. I agree with that man, bro. I so do, man. But anyways, yes. Here we go. What's your counter move, guys? I always say, peep it, sweep it, and keep it. Real simple. Peep it, sweep it, and keep it. Now, examine your current situation. All right, very simple. So, right now, do you have? Is your financial picture or your wealth strategy? Is it sound? Does it make sense? Are you losing money? If you're losing money, you may want to re-strategize. All right, guys. So, and then okay, sweep it. Again, how secure is your strategy? If you're losing money, what are you doing differently? Who have you widened the circle to bring in that wise counsel? So you said that you set it up for 3 generations. Again, a wise man plans for 3 generations. Broke people plan for Saturday night. Let me say it again. A wise man plans for 3 generations. A broke person plans for Saturday night. Which one are you? Not choosing is choosing. Simple, guys. All right. I got a question on Instagram. It says, how do you get started? Don't most insurances have a cap and you end up losing your money in the end? No. It depends on, this is when you actually have a good insurance person that can put it together. I can refer you to some people that I know. DM me, Sarah, and I can refer to people that I actually know concerning this. But that's one of the myths. It's one of the myths there. No, I believe in life insurance, to be honest with you, is one of the most sound investments you can actually make from a tax standpoint, because it decreases your tax liability, number one. Number two, also, you can leverage it properly as well. Number three, your money's protected. I have 3 things I do. I insure, leverage, and protect. Insure, leverage, and protect. Combining real estate investing, which is what I do, and private equity investing with life insurance, we're killing the game. We insure our money, then we leverage it properly, and then we protect it from loss. Simple, ain't hard. All right, here we go. And then again, start thinking generationally. Keep it, guys. If your plan begins and ends with you, you've already lost. Because once you leave, you have what's the use of planning anymore? But if you plan for 2-3 generations after you, your why becomes a lot bigger. Does that make sense? Because you're planning for others. If that makes some sense, guys. All right. But everything costs money. Yes, you do. But just what you do is you widen the circle, bring in some wise counsel that can assist you in devising a plan that's customized specific for your situation. Everybody's situation is different. It's different. Your generational type of plan is different than mine, than someone else's. It's customized specifically to you guys. But man, when I first heard what P actually said, I was like, what the world? But then actually, as he began to unpack it from a context standpoint, I said, oh, I see what he's talking about. It actually kind of made some sense, to be honest with you. But guys, that's all I have for today, guys, man. Again, I always say, guys, my strategy is always insure, leverage, and protect. That is my formula for the velocity of money. Velocity means how fast your money goes from A to B. Something. Velocity, speed. If that makes sense, guys. Well, guys, man, thanks so much for your time. That's all I have. Give me your thoughts, guys. If you want to watch the entire interview that Matt did with Master P, the link is in the description page. Whether you're on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, you name it, it's all there. Click on it. You can watch the entire one because it's about a 45-minute interview, and it really goes in, and you can really peek into how P's mind actually makes some sense, guys. Well, guys, man, thank you so much for your time. Oh yeah, I always say this, guys. Real quickly, guys. Every Friday, really Tuesday and Friday, somewhere in the middle, it's one of our shows on the TITM Media Group Network. It's with Suni and Mo. They actually have a good little time, guys. I always play this here. We have a comment here. Oh, from my man Glenn. What's up, Glenn? Glenn said, interesting solution. So many things we can do to educate our youth. Yes, Glenn. Yes, man. How you broke that thing down, man. It was just so cool how you broke it down. Which is pretty cool. But yeah, guys. Here it is, guys. Here's Suni and Mo. We do this. They do this every single Thursday and active Tuesday and Friday, guys. Here we go.
Now we're about to get
I went down.
Facts on facts on facts. Hello.
Yeah, guys, that's Suni and Mo for somewhere in the middle, guys. And Deontay actually on Instagram, guys, made a phenomenal comment. He's one of the most wisest financial planners that I actually know. I mean, he's extremely wise, guys. He's an expert at putting stuff like this together. He said, if you look at cost as opposed to value to determine your decision making, you'll struggle to increase your value, your wealth. He is spot on, guys. If cost is where it begins and ends with you, you will always lose. Look at the value. Everything costs something. When you actually go to the store and buy groceries, it costs you something. When you put gas in your car, it costs you something. When you go out and buy a new car and you leverage it out via debt, it costs something. If you pay cash for it, it costs you something. Your mortgage costs you something. Your electricity costs you something. Everything in your life costs you something. The question should not be cost. It should be, does this solution provide value for my life to increase my wealth? Negate the cost. Count the cost, which is fine, but that should be the secondary to the first solution, should be value. If that makes some sense, guys. Well, guys, man, thank you so much for your time. God bless you. You know, I end it every single week, guys. I always say this here. Before you leave, and while you can, guys, you see that thing, man. Take that damn picture and give it to your mom and them. Now say it with your chest and holler at your partner. God bless you guys. See you next week. Peace.
Long live the king.